recording. Can you hear me okay? Let's make sure the audio is working okay. Testing, testing. Might have had it on mute for a little bit. All right, I think we're good now. All right. Okay, good. All right, good. Excellent. All right, so welcome to Stock Analysis Friday. My name is Bennett McDowell with TradersCoach.com. And the purpose of Stock Analysis Friday, of course, is for me to look up stocks that you're interested in. So go ahead and type those in the comments area and type those in caps 3 at a time. We're going to be together for an hour today, okay? So we want to kind of move kind of quick. Good. Audio is okay. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. All right. So today, of course, is April 19th, 2024. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go quickly right away to the information I got to cover, the admin stuff I got to cover before we get going, which includes talking a little bit about the risks involved in trading. You know, whenever you do a presentation like this, we reach a vast audience, so we really don't know your personal situation out there. So always run any of my analysis, my opinions, my suggestion, forecast, whatever, past your financial advisor to be sure they're suitable for you. They know your personal situation. Like I said, I don't. All right. The other thing, too, is always trade with risk capital. It amazes me how many people kind of bet the farm on certain things. You don't want to do that. Always be proportionate. Calculate the proper trade size for each trade or investment you're going to do. And if you need help with that, I've got several books on that topic. And let me just share a couple of those with you right now. Some of the books on money management that you see in front of you right now are really excellent in helping you with that. And you can implement this into basically a trading program where you can calculate your trade size, your risk on each and every trade. And you really want to do that. I've got books covering a vast variety of forms of technical analysis. One of my favorites is Elliott Wave, of course. Many of you that know me know I'm a big believer in that. So I wrote a book for McGraw-Hill on that several years ago. It became just about a bestseller there. Also, too, I've got my second edition of The Art of Trading coming out this year. I anticipate that doing really well. That's going to be quite a book. I think probably one of the best books I've written to date. A lot of material covering current conditions and the best software on the market out there today. All right, so I'll put some links in the recording and you can certainly check those out. And that does take us to the software I use. I use a variety of different types of analysis when I look at markets. I use price patterns in the form of what I call the ART trading software, along with momentum picked up by the OWL, the PTF, trend lines drawn in by the trend line master. And then we take a look at fear and greed as it unfolds in any market using the ERI. And then I have a multitude of scanners where we scan the market for setups. That's how we find markets to trade. And then risk control, which is vitally important, is at the bottom row of all our software. So you can check that out. I'll put another link at the bottom for that. And then I guess take a minute here and give us a like. Hopefully, you've already subscribed, so that's out of the way. But do share it with your friends and people that you know that are interested in the stock market. Have them come here. You know, a lot of people that come here, they'll get a call from the broker, for example. The broker will recommend a stock, but the broker usually is looking at fundamentals. They're not really using technical analysis. So if you bring that stock here, we may be able to help you better time the entry. Maybe it's sometimes better to wait a month, or maybe it's too late. Okay, so bring it here and we'll give you a second opinion. All right, let me dump out of this and go to the live markets. I've got Bitcoin here. It looks like it's trying to recover itself here. We may have a bottom here. We're going to watch that through, but it would be nice if this temporary pullback in Bitcoin is over. All right, but we'll keep an eye on it. For many of you that subscribe to our services, you know we watch that very closely. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's take a look and see what you guys want to take a look at. Al, how are you? AKAM. Let's take a look at that and see what's cooking. All right, so all short, okay. Are you short now, or are you considering all short? A little late to get all short, okay. The short position should have been taken a while ago, so I don't know if you're currently short or you're thinking about it. So if you're thinking about it, I'll answer it in two ways. If you're thinking about it, well, let me just bring up the full chart. If you're thinking about it, what I would do here is probably not go short. If you are short, you got a little bit of a bounce coming up here. So you may be close to a bottom. I think probably we'll have one more rotation to the downside in the form of a hook, which is a pretty common pattern you see as you get into it. Okay, so you're considering it. So I would not do this one, okay? If you'd asked me that a couple weeks ago, it would have been a better opportunity. Let's take a look at fraud and see what we got cooking out there. All right, so fraud here, a couple things you need to know. All right, when you look at these charts, you'll notice I have 3 screens up, right? So I got the long-term look here on the weekly chart, daily here, 60-minute here. I've covered that pretty much every week. We talk about that. So the PTF indicator, 75% probability of success. When it's green, you can expect higher highs at some point. When it's red, you can expect lower lows. And notice the short-term time frames. The center chart and the one on the left have a red PTF. So before it recovers and goes higher based on this chart and makes a new all-time high, looks like it's going to go lower. Again, Al, you missed this big move down here, and look how many pyramids you have here already on this short trend. So it's going to go lower, but unfortunately, the PTF is saying it's only going to go a little lower, maybe to 36. So you may have an opportunity there at some point. But again, I would have loved for you to have gotten in early. So I think your idea is right. Timing a little bit off. And the problem is that this is just a profit-taking pullback in a bull market. It's kind of like what we're experiencing almost in Bitcoin. You're having a pullback, but the overall long-term aspect of this market is it is in a bull trend. And you can see that based on the green PTF here on the long-term chart, the green owl. So you really are technically in a longer-term bull market, just some profit taking going on. So I don't want to put you short on something that you have to really time perfectly, and I think you missed it. All right, TENB. Let's see what we got cooking here. All right, green PTF on the daily, red here. Again, you missed it on that one on the 60-minute chart. So with a green PTF lurking on the daily, stay away from this one too. All right. I understand your thinking. The thinking was good, just a little bit too late. Okay. So I get it. All right. Let's see what else we got here cooking. Alexander, Eleanor, good morning. Stu, good morning. Let's see. All right. Al's back with a few more, all short, not in. Okay, good. So let's see how you're doing on these guys. HRMY. Okay, so this is a little better. And the reason that makes this better is that if you look at the long-term chart, we got a red PTF right here indicating the lowest low in that red PTF is here. So now you got some room for some potential profit. So again, what it's saying is that eventually it should get below the $20 line, right? You've got a pyramid active here, which is good, and you haven't missed it by that much. And you got one here, and you haven't missed that one by that much at this point. So that's looking better. Okay. Now, what I want to make sure here is where do you put your stop? All right, because you have to be really careful about that. In case your stop is too close, you may be right on the short, but you get stopped out because your stop is too close. So I'd like you to put your stop above the line here, which is, let's see how high that is, 39. We're at 10.9. So that's cutting it a little close on the 1-to-1. So you're going to be forced to use the stop here on the daily. So I would go ahead and use this pyramid here for 34.09. 34.09. So that's about a 5-pointer, right? And you got about a 10-point possible profit. So you're about 2-to-1. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put HRMY as a short, okay, with a stop above that pyramid. So I think that one's okay. Let's take a look at your next one here. SGIOY. SGIOY. And while that's loading, we'll take a look here. You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, Ben, why do you take the time and do these every Friday? What's in it for you? And basically the answer to that very simply is it gives me a chance to show off a couple things, how valuable technical analysis is, and also how valuable our software is. So if you don't have a game plan in terms of how you time the markets, then you're really throwing darts at the dartboard. So you don't want to do that. And so this gives me a chance to kind of say, okay, this is how I analyze stuff. And we try to make it as clear as possible, but also show you how valuable the tools are. And when people see that and you educate them, then the light bulb goes on and you get a client for life. So that's kind of why we do that. All right, so let's take a look at this bad boy here. So we've got red PTF on the short, and we got a green one, but it's already taken off to the bottom. Kind of low liquidity on this too, so I'm not very liking that. Pass on this one out. Okay, I'll make it short and sweet for you. Just pass. All right, let's keep going on this one. All right, green PTFs across the board. Notice the big short occurring back in 2022 on the long-term charts. You're getting close to a bottom here. You got bullish divergence on the owl, on the red owl on the far right. You got green PTF showing up now. So I think you're actually in a bottoming formation. So you may actually next week want to ask me to take a look at this for a possible long trade. In fact, I think I'm going to put it on here as a watch list because for a long trade, simply because if we see a breakout again from this channel down in here, so we can get above $2, I think we may see a bullish move on this. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, Al, thank you. All right, Ray, let's see. Tesla is it? Let's take a look at the old Tesla here. All right, this is for Ray. How are you, Ray? Thank you. All right, is a good time to go long? Not yet. Okay. And the reason I quickly can say that, again, is because of the trading tools, right? So I look at the market and see these fractal pyramids all pointing down. What we usually do is these base legs, okay, are key levels of support, and if the trend reverses, resistance, right? So we got to get above that before we can think that this downtrend is over. So technically, we'd still be short this because we haven't been stopped out. You have a red momentum here, red momentum here. I like the fact that you no longer have any red here. These are all yellow, which are neutral. You have green here. So again, let's bring this back next week and keep looking at it for a possible long once this move down as reversed. But for right now, I mean, you can just even draw a trend line straight down. Check this out. All right. So it even has an active trend line that hasn't been penetrated. So you definitely don't want to go long here. You don't even have an active trend line on the short time frame. Let's do one there too. Check this out. So this one's going to be the first one that breaks, and that one hasn't broken yet either. So no reason to go long yet. You'd be catching what they call a falling knife, and you don't want to cut yourself when you catch that knife, so to speak, right? All right, so Ray, good one. Let's bring it back next week. All right, Stu's back with Coin, C-O-I-N. Coin is the ETF for Coinbase, okay, and which is in the crypto industry, of course. All right, couple little concerning things here that we got to think about. All right, one thing is we got a red PTF here, right? So we just kissed a short-term target. So we're probably going to go back, Stuart, below 203 at some point. We're at 221. That's, you know, that's that. All right, the other thing is we have red here, but we do have green. So Coinbase, like all the cryptos, is in a dominant long-term bull trend. So don't forget that. You have two choices in cryptos these days, the way I see it. You can either use these sell-offs as opportunities to buy, or if you're going to actively trade the swings within crypto, you can sell out a long position and buy back in when you feel it's bottom. Whatever, you know, when we use our tools, we'll have a good idea when it's bottoming. All right. So those are the two options. You either basically do nothing and enjoy the bull run that should return, or you trade it and trade the swings. So I'll leave that up to each one of you on how you want to do this. But what concerns me here is we got a red owl here, And in terms of Elliott wave, when you have that red owl, it's usually a 3-4. This is a short-term pullback, but when you have a red owl on the center chart, you may get a more significant pullback. And let's see what those numbers are, because this is kind of new since we talked the last. And let's see if they're coming up anywhere near what they are. So they're a little lower. So maybe 192 to 136, fairly significant, right? And again, if you're long-term and that doesn't bother you, then you should recover and go higher. Why do I say that? Because this is bullish, this is bullish, this is a 3, this is a 4, and this is a 5. And you have 5 waves in an Elliott wave trend, with the trend ending in wave 5. But you have to struggle through wave 4, which means more downside before you have wave 5. So that goes for quite a few of the cryptos are in this similar pattern. And again, I'll let you decide how you want to play that. All right, DJT. All right, this is Trump's social thing. All right, so moved up, now moved way down. What do we got cooking on here for an opportunity? Unfortunately, a couple things. This PTF has got to turn green before I can get involved in any type of move. And it's close to doing that, okay? We've got pretty good momentum still on the weekly chart, but red momentum on the center chart or daily chart. So premature to do anything. I wouldn't touch it, okay? All right, Lowell, let's see what you got cooking there. KR, let's see what's going on with that. Kroger. Good to have you here, Lowell. All right, so not sure if you're long. I think you may already be long, right? So I would stay long. Doesn't mean you're not going to get a pullback. And again, I think basically all the stock market here is going to have some profit taking here. So we've had a big run up, right? You can't deny that. Big run up since October in most all stocks. So you got to expect a little pause or profit taking breath in the market. So let's kind of get an idea from a technical perspective where that could be. And on this stock here, you could get a move down to around 53 to 49. Now, when I draw these fancy lines here with these blue lines here, this is nothing more than a fib retracement. So it's really not that fancy. And the fib retracement basically indicates that it is a high probability zone for profit taking when it occurs. And that's between 38.2 and 61.8%. So 70% of the time, you'll get some type of profit taking within those blue lines. 15% of the time, they don't make it. So if you're a probability guy like me, I go with the 70%. So I'm thinking this could go down. Now, in order for this to be technically in a wave 4, this has got to go to red. Okay. So if it doesn't go to red and it pushes back up, we could get one more high on wave 3, and then we're going to have to redraw the lines. So it's a little premature to say this is in a wave 4, but if that turns red, and we're only possibly a day away if it does, then that would solidify this forecast. But a lot of times too, just so you guys know, you get a little bit of a push back up and what I call a bulb on this, and one more hook here. So again, you don't have the hook. So my feeling is you might get a hook to the upside on this one more time, okay? I don't think it's a good one to enter into to the long side. I'm only saying, hey, if you're long already, probably stay with it. But if that turns red, then you'll have to make a decision because it's probably coming back down. All right, AQB. Let's see what's cooking with that one. All right, so on this one here, any shorts, you would have been really good on this, but right now it's too late to go short, even though I don't think the bottom's quite in yet. You've got incredible bullish divergence building here. You've got it building here. You could go a little bit lower here, but at this particular point, again, too late to short, I think. All right. I wouldn't mess with it near the $1.70 for God's sakes. Okay. So think about that. All right. I'm going to move right along because time is of the essence, as they say. Let's take a look at Target. TGT, and this was for low. All right. And again, don't forget, when you type in your symbols, tell me whether you're currently long, thinking about long, or vice versa, currently short or thinking of short. All right, so a couple things on this short term right away. Some of the things I look at, red PTF, and we've had a nice move up, a lot of pyramids. Okay, you would have been just, I think, stopped out on this one. This is red. All right, this is green. All right, so you're in a long-term bullish market that's not over. You've had a fairly decent correction that may not be over according to the short-term time frames. So I would not go long on this. Let's wait and see what happens with this. I'm thinking this thing would be a buy if it gets below those two blue lines. So when it reaches 152 to 134, then that's an opportunity to buy. Okay, let's take a look at HBM. All right, already extended. If you're in it already, this is an easy one because if you're in it already, you stay in it. You can use a, this is a forming pyramid. You should make more highs because this is green. So I'm thinking stop here, move it up here on this pyramid. When it turns green, it gets confirmed, and that'll get confirmed when prices get above the point of the apex, indicating higher highs and higher lows, and that's a bullish fractal. This is green, so stay with it, okay? Just ratchet your stops up because you eventually will get a pullback, okay? And then you can decide how to play it. Frank, good to see you, buddy. How are you? All right, let's see what else we got here. Frank, how are you, Frank? QQQ. Let's see what we got for QQQ here. All right, so on the Qs here, I think, Frank, we looked at this before, and you can see we had the target drawn in there for the QQQ short-term top, and it looks like we hit it, and so now the market's sliding down, okay? So let's see, we no longer have a green PTF on the 60 as well. So this is turned now. We're going to see some bearishness continue on this. So if you're short at 440, you're pretty happy here, right? I would think the only thing that bothers me with a short trade here is that we've had this big move down. I would basically, I kind of know, Frank, how you trade. I would probably use this pyramid here for right now. If this red goes yellow, I would probably scale out of half of your position because you'll probably get an eventual turnaround, but this could definitely have some more room to the upside. This is still green here, so you're gonna have to be a little nimble. But if you see a reversal, you might want to take some profits off the table, but congrats, because that is doing well. All right, so now you just need to manage the trade. So for right now, keep that stop on this pyramid, which has a high of 429.05. And with a red PTF, you got more lows coming, so I think you'll be A-okay with a stop that high. All right, covered your puts on the spider, okay, all right. All right, Al, let's see what we got here. KHC Craft, I believe. All right, long, not in, so he's considering a long. Let's take a look and see. All right. So what Al probably did here was scanned for a bottom, and you definitely have a long-term channel. Now, here's the interesting thing, and this is why you got to time things. You could have gone back in here around 2021, but you would have been pretty much flat, and your money would have been tied up for 3 full years without making a profit. All right. So that's not good, right? So you got to, when you get a channel that's like this, you kind of, and you're thinking about a long, don't get in premature. Draw some lines, just very simply. Take your line drawing tools and draw that channel, and don't go in until the market breaks out of that channel. God, you don't want to get stuck for another year in there, right? All right, short term, it's looking really good. When you talk about short term versus long term, you're trading these little swings in the market. So this would be an up trade, possible down trade. You're not looking at it long term. So if you're looking at it long term, you got to wait for that channel to be broken on the weekly. However, if you're trading the swings, you would have had a nice move up here. Now wait for another pyramid to go long here. This is looking good. So you're probably moving off this. And again, if you break above here, this is one you can hold. Okay, you don't even have to trade it if it breaks above the long-term channel on the upper side. Okay, so I would wait for a pyramid. I think it's looking pretty good, but until you get that breakout on the long term, you're only trading the waves. So your profit's not going to be as big as if you could catch a longer term trend. Okay. All right, let's take a look at ED. All right, a little bit of a messy market on that. Let's see, it's kind of broken out on the 60-minute a little bit. Let's see what we got. No long trade. Okay, you're not looking at a bottom, you're looking at a possible top. So let's open up this thing here. All right, very messy trade, very hard market to trade without giving your stop a lot of room, right? So right away, suspect on how you're going to trade on this. Also, too, we've been caught in this channel, and it's even messy on the daily chart, and we've got a red PTF down there. So no go, okay? Not on that one. Let's take a look at SAND, S-A-N-D. All right. Well, this one is interesting. Let's see what we got cooking here. Let me just reset these so we got more prices to look at there. Okay. All right. So again, probably would have been better a little earlier. And my next question is going to be, where is it going? What's the target? Let's open up the weekly and see if we can figure out a target. The problem is, in the world of stocks, even though it goes back to 2010, that configuration is not giving us much of hope, is it? All right, almost looks like Bitcoin, all the way up, all the way down, V shape. So now we're coming here. So if you're thinking along, we've got to make sure this is a bottom here. And then where's your top? Okay, what's going to be the next configuration? Tough call. Not a lot of history on that chart. Let's see if the chart in the middle helps us, because that'll have more price bars for a given period of time, because it's a shorter term chart. All right, but not much. So this is kind of messy. All right. What do I do when I see a messy market? I run for the hills. The short-term 60-minute chart is the best chart, simply because right away I can spot an impulsive move. Okay, these are small swings that we've seen before, but they will be represented as impulsive moves on this. So if this is a 3, you might have a 4, which I don't think is over, and could go high there. So I'm saying find something better. Okay, it's just not, the clarity's not there. All right, Bradley, how are you? All right, so you're in all 3. All right, stay in or scram, right? Okay, let's see what we got. VRT. All right, wow, nice. Hopefully you got in early, right? All right, VRT, wonderful move up. In terms of Elliott wave, you cannot miss the fact that that's a wave 3. Okay, I mean, huge. All right, so Bradley, take a look at the chart on the right. Long term, this is far from being over. The problem is you're going to have a profit taking stage come in here. And is it coming in yet? Certainly could be. You probably got a green PTF, so one more high here. If you had been trading this using the pyramids, you would have done really, really well. Okay, you've ridden this thing from 20 probably up to get stopped out just today at 77.16ish. Okay, so let's see what the low of this price bar is. Nope, you wouldn't have been stopped out, but your stop would be right here at 77.15. So that's where a stop would be for a swing trade, swing position trade. Long term, your stop would be on this pyramid. So that's how the system works. When you look at a long-term chart, the stop most likely is going to be further away than what you're going to see on a daily chart, because the long-term chart pyramids are designed to keep you in on that time frame. Okay, so even if you get a pullback, you should be okay on that pyramid. If you want to take your short-term profits, keep your stop here at the pyramid on VRT. Okay, that's how I would do that. Let's take a look at Riley. RILY. Let's see what's cooking on that bad boy. Okay, this one is at the infancy of a move, possible move up. Again, here's these channels that get tricky, right? So you are in these. There's no reason to get out. All right, you have a green PTF on the 60. All right, you need to have your stop though low enough, like right around here, to avoid any volatility. And let's, hope this thing breaks out, right? This price bar here occurred. If it gets above there, you're good to go, okay? You do have a little red here and a little red here still. So, probably got in a little early on that, maybe. Not sure where you got in, but if you got in anytime after this big spike bar here, all right, then you wouldn't have gone in here and here with the red owl. So you might have gotten in a little early, but it may not be, I wouldn't throw the towel in on it because this may still break out to the upside, okay? But you're going to have to give it room. All right, this is a great example of one that you hopefully won't get stuck in for a while, which is kind of important to wait for those breakouts. All right, let's take a look at your last one, CYTK. CYTK. All right, so you're long on this one, bullish market on the weekly chart. You're seeing some profit taking a little bit, but you got a green PTF there. So let's run a couple fibs and see if this thing has finished or at least hit the target zone. Good. Okay. So that's already come into the profit taking target zone. So hopefully this thing will reverse. I've got a little bit of red still here. All right. You've got an active short-term downtrend in place. This is not red, but boy, it's close. I don't think we're quite done coming down. All right. I'm not saying we're going to go below here, but let's see if that bottom holds and we get a reversal on it. So if you're still in at this point, I'd probably hold it a little while because you got a green PTF on the daily. You got one on the weekly. You got, things looking good on those time frames, and you got profit taking on the short term. So, and we're in the target zone. So I would continue to hold it at this point. All right. Frank, glad that's not a stock. Okie dokie. All right, let's keep going here. Stu, PayPal. Let's see what's cooking with PayPal here. All right, PY, PL. All right, so don't know if you're long or not. All right, but I wouldn't be taking a long here. Okay, we're kind of bottoming right now, but we haven't had any indication yet of a serious move to the upside. Okay, so this one, put this one on your watch list, guys, because this one, if it breaks to the upside, which it could do, this is a bottoming sequence right here. So if you get a break up here, then that's going to be a bullish sign. And that would be a really good long trade at that potential point. So let's all put that on the watch list. Stu, bring it back next week and every week until it looks good. Flow, let's take a look at flow here for Al. All right, so flow, we've looked at that one before. We've analyzed the heck out of that one before, right? So we had a top and a pullback. Let me just get rid of these because we don't need these up here anymore. All right, so let me just get rid of those. All right, and I think I'll clear them off here too. Sometimes when you draw these things and you come back a little later, it's better to just clear them off and clear the chart and clear your mind. Okay, so long, he's asking. All right, so certainly we've got some pyramids indicating long on all three time frames. So a long trade could be valid here. The next thing, let's figure out where this is going. All right. And so this is sometimes we can have the momentum going in our direction, but then it's hard to figure out where the target zone is, right? And Stuart will say, well, that's why I'm coming here. Okay, so we'll take a look at that. All right, so let's see what we've got cooking here. Highest owl is here. We've got here, so we got bearish divergence, possible end of a trend up here. Are we going to take that high out? All right. I am thinking here that for short term, we're probably already in a target area. So a little more highs coming here for that. I'm not going to recommend this one quite yet because if this is a major top here, then this may just be a pull up and then a head back down. Okay. So I think I'm going to stay away from that one. Okay. Let's take a look at KTDP. That's a tongue twister. All right. KDP. All right. And see what's going on with this. All right. Still got a red PTF over here. So the correction is not finished. So no long here. Okay. Wait. So, and let's just draw it in. It looks like it probably is in a significant correction. All right, not just a little correction. So let's draw in some retracements and see how possibly big this correction is being. Well, we hit here. Okay, so it looks like we're going to go back probably into the 20s on this. So hold off for now. Okay, take a look at it again next week. All right, back to Lowell here. Lowell, TSM. TSM. Let's see what we got cooking on TSM. All right, so watch. Okay, so Lowell, I would not take a long trade, I think, on this yet. Okay, we got a red PTF in the 60, so we're in a profit taking stage. So bring that back next week. SMCI. This is the one we looked at a couple months ago, and then it went into a profit taking stage. And you can see how these things correct, and those fibs are kind of miracles because. They're miracles only because they have stood the test of time for observational statistics. In other words, most of the time, 70% of the time, the way in which we draw them, you get the profit pullback area into that area. And so we didn't get disappointed on that. It's certainly going there. We got a red PTF still over here. So still coming down, okay? Continue to watch. Eventually, wave 4 will be over. Notice this is still in a bullish trend. So this is 3. We're just waiting for 4 to finish, and then you're going to have 5. All right. So I would put this on a watch list. Okay. But, if you're trading this long trade, you'd want to get out if you're, trading it more short term. So you'd be out now. But for right now, don't go back in. Okay. All right. AMSC. Let's see what you got cooking here. All right. Let's open up this weekly chart. Okay. So we got some breaking out here. That's a good sign. We also got a green PTF. So 70% chance that this breakout is kind of for real. And we could get above 1737 and we're 11. That's not too bad. Stop here would be great, but that's 6 points. So 6 points. And that from where it is now does not give you a 2-to-1. It would have to be under this pyramid. Let's see if we get any help on the short-term trades. Got a red. Okay, so we're correcting right now. So on this one here, let's put this on a watch list because what happens is, this correction is still underway. All right, it's not over. We've got active pyramid here, draw a trend line, and there's your downtrend still active. So the more this goes down, the better it is because the more it comes down, the more if we want to put our stop here, the better our entry will be for a 2-to-1 just based off the PTF on the weekly chart. Okay, so let's just wait. Okay, let's take a look at it next week. All right, Bradley, my pleasure. Okay, good job. All right, let's take a look at Frank's IWM. Wanted to short it, but I think I missed it. Well, let's just see. It's kind of a messy one, isn't it? So uptrend, you would have gotten out beautifully here. Boy, the pyramid did a great job getting out around 205, maybe a little higher. Let's see what that bottom of that green pyramid is over here. 205, 204.99. So that's pretty good. All right, pyramid to the short side would have been better up here. Yeah, you're too late, I think. Yep. Let's take a look at that. You may get another chance to the upside at some point. All right, let's go back to Bradley here. REK. Let's see what you got cooking on that. Watching for potential real estate market hedge investment. Waiting for the green. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of an interesting one. You got the short-term bullish. Don't have a lot of liquidity here, but short-term bullish. But like like you're saying, I can't go against these PTFs, okay? So even if I get a long trade signaled by a pyramid indicating some form of a breakout, if those PTFs are red, that breakout is kind of indicating a false breakout. Now, if this abruptly turns green, okay, this one won't, as soon as this one will stay red if that's the case. Then you have something better, but you're still only in a possible, I want to say, correction in in a downtrend, because as long as this stays red, then there's a 75% probability we're dropping below that. So any move up here is just a correction in a downtrend. So yeah, so you gotta, I would wait for that to turn green, and then I'd be careful. I don't think I'd even take it then, not with a red PTF on the weekly. Okay, I think you can do better. All right, Alexander's back with Mara, M-A-R-A. But Bradley, I get where you're coming from on that. Okay, I do understand. All right, Sue, let's see what we got here. We looked at a top here, then a move down, and now let's see. Let's get rid of the top here. Let's get rid of the correction before the top, because that's what this was. And there we have it. And I'm just going to remove them all here. All right, so so you're long on these. All right, well, the pyramids would have had you out. Okay, so I don't know why you're staying long on that. Should you remain long? You even went below the pyramid on the weekly. Okay, so all the signals told are basically getting out. Now you've got, since you're long and you're trying to do basically trade repair on this, right? All right, I would drop down to the 60-minute, put your stop under the pyramid, and see how far up the market can go for you to recover some of your loss or money if you're at a loss right now. Okay, so that's kind of the way I would do that. All right, let's take a look at Uber. Give me 1 second. Okay, long on this one. Again, I think long term you're fine, because look at the weekly chart. Short term, you would have been taken out already with the pyramids long ago. Okay, so now you're going down. You got a red PTF, so now you're going down into a wave 4 on the daily chart, which is a minor 4 on the weekly. So let's see how far we think this thing could come down if that's the case. We're probably looking at 65 to 55, okay? And then possibly a recovery after that, but you're still heading down. All right, SOXS. Okay, so you're long here. And this thing gapped up. I don't know where you got long, but you've got green here, if my data is correct. So you're getting some type of spring off the bottom. I don't know where you got in, okay? You probably might have gotten in after the gap. I mean, if you got in before the gap, wow, that was quite the trade. But I'm not sure. So as long as these are green here, stay with it. If they turn yellow, you might want to take some profits out. You have a potential, if this goes green, the owl goes green over here, you have a potential of a decent retracement. Okay, quite a decent retracement. So keep that in mind. All right, but that would take years to reach on that chart. Okay, all right, let's keep going on. Teva, T-E-V-A. T-E-V-A. Want to get long. Wait, okay, it's coming down. All right, you'll have your chance, I think, but let's wait and let's draw that target of where you'll have your chance. And I think that's between $12.02 down to $10. So bring it back next week, okay? All right, GRDX. And so waiting for that. Is that the right symbol? Did I type that in right? GRDX? I think that's wrong. Is it GDRX? There is one, but I wouldn't go near that one. I think you might mean this one. Is it GDRX? I think it's GDRX, right? Not GRDX. Okay, so, okay, good. So, all right, fine. All right, so let's see. Want to get long. Okay, so Frank, this was actually looking pretty good. Not a lot of, boy, not a lot of history on that, right? Only 2021, I guess. Okay, so what we're really trying to do is see if we've got a breakout, right, on the long-term chart. So you don't have it yet on the weekly chart. You've got a green PTF trade on both these. So if you wanted to take a short scalp up to here, which is 950 roughly, and you're at 672, that would be a possible target, but you got an active pyramid pointing down. So I would wait for this to come down some more, and let's see if we get a turnaround, okay? So I wouldn't do anything with that yet. Hal is back with Door, D-O-O-R. D-O-O-R. Okay, the gap up already. No, don't touch it, okay? LBRT, only because gaps have a tendency to fill, and also we had some red on there. All right, so this one, no, okay? I wouldn't do this one. Red PTF there, red PTF there, and we're already in a fairly extended trend, okay? Now, if you're trying to get a wave 3, a short-term high over the next couple of days, you got a red PTF, so you can't even do it for that reason, okay? All right, let's see what else. Okay, I think I got them all. God, you guys are great, man. But it's kind of interesting. You know, the only one we found so far today was HRMY to the short side, right? So it looks like we're not finding any long ones, which is kind of also interesting and telling a little bit. So like I say, I think long term, you know, not long term, but I think we're kind of in a overall correction in just about all the major indexes. And I see it kind of a profit-taking situation right now. All right, anything else? Going once, going twice. I'm going to give it a second because every time I think it's over, I get another one on there. So let's see what we got. And then okay, here you go. Alexander, Costco. Let's see what Costco is doing. All right, short on Costco. Not with a green PTF here. Okay, I wouldn't short it yet. You really also too, you definitely have a shorting opportunity on the 60-minute. Let me just see if we've hit the target on that. Well, you might have a little room to go to the short side. I wish this wasn't green over here. So let me see if there's a possibility. You know, there's also a small percentage that stays green even during a major wave 4. So, you know, let's just see what we're doing here with this. Yeah, I kind of think I don't think I would do it. I'm not getting good vibes from it. I also think I see what you're coming from because we've got a big run up. We could be in a wave 4, but also too it may be we may be of just a little bit lower, not quite a lot. Okay. Because you have such a strong owl and PTF on the weekly that I don't think this is going to be a, this may not be a major 4 yet. All right, ABRT, at least on the weekly. All right, so let's see on this one. Okay, so you got no green PTFs. You got a red here and a red here. No, not much history. Okay, so all right. So here's what I would do in this. All right. So you got a potential just based on this indicator. We call this a PTF believe it or not, scalp trade. And it doesn't matter how potential the profits are, it's still a scalp trade because you don't really care about the overall cycle. You're just going off the PTF. So you got to move up. All right. The move up is not quite over. I still see some green here. But what I would do if this turns red and this turns red, then I would put your stop above whatever the highest high is, and you could take a short there. Okay. But not yet because you don't have red here. But keep an eye on it. Okay. And bring it back next week and then take a look at it as well. Okay. All right. Let's see. Thank you for that, Al. Good. All right. Everybody. Awesome. Awesome. Did I miss anybody? All right. Alexander's back. VALE. Watching for long or short. Okay. Too late for a short. Not ready for a long. Okay. Unfortunately. All right. LBRT. And too late for a long. But what about a short? Oh, I think we looked at this one, didn't we? God, it's just like the other one we looked at. So on this one here, I would wait a little bit. Okay. Yeah, this is just like the other one. Okay. All right. For some reason, it is the other one. It came up for some reason. I don't know why. All right. Let's try the one it should be. TMUS. There it is. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So, is this ready for a short? We got stopped out of there. Here's what I would do. Okay. I think the answer is out of all of these I looked at, I kind of like this. Not bad. Let's wait until these pyramids get taken out and this goes red. And if also too, we need to break below this ledge here for a short trade. All right. Because you still got some positive owl on the weekly. So let's wait for the 60-minute chart to give us a little more red and get rid of those bullish pyramids on this short-term swing that we're experiencing to the upside. And then let's see what happens here. Let me also see one more thing here on the weekly chart. And yeah. So just wait for those two things. Okay. And then you should have a fairly decent entry for a short position with a target somewhere around, the 154 to 146. So then you could put your stop, if this high holds and it just goes up a little bit more and turns around, stop there, here, and you got a nice little movement into the target zone. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. INO. Okay. Am I on track again? Did I leave anybody out? Okay. All right. This one is really an interesting one. All right. I would love to go long on this because look, we had the breakout here. Green, green, green. This is red. So we're still coming down a little bit. I think this is a bottom. Okay. I do. But we have to make sure what I think is verified by price, kind of trust and verify type of thing. So on this here, it's still coming down. We got red here. So what I'd like you to do, Lowell, this is a really great potential because the target zone could be really high on this. It's been coming down a long time. So even if you had a rebound target zone, you're probably looking at quite a move up, like 60 to 100, somewhere around in there. But let's wait another week. Come back next week. Let's see how that 60-minute chart is, because the 60-minute chart is bearish. All right, we have a trend down. We have red here. So we're still coming down. Let's see if this bottom holds and we can get a better price if we're a little patient. Okay. But I'm liking it. Okay. I'm liking it. Not so bad. So that goes on the watch list. All right, let's wrap it up. It's a wrap for today. What do you think? Okay. All right. So let me jump here and go over a couple here, and we'll wrap it up here. You guys are great. Okay. All right. So the only one we really found today was that one to the short side on HRMY, and short-term trade. Okay, to the short side. All right. So let's if you're interested in taking a short in this market, that would be it. On the watch list, we've got quite a few. So let's see how things percolate over the next week. And let's take a look at these next week. So THTX long, TSLA long term. Those are both long-term trades, by the way. PayPal. All right. That's another one we want to look at. SMCI, AMSC, ABRT. And the one I like actually the best is INO. All right. So let's keep an eye on that one, which is right in front of you right here. Okay. All right. Listen, have a great week. Always use risk control. We're going to be back next Friday. Remember those on the watch list, and let's bring them back and we'll take a look at those because they may be better next week than they are this week. And we'll see how the markets are doing overall. All right. So hope everybody's the weather's starting to change for you. Spring now is close to turning into summer, right? So enjoy your week, and we'll see you back here next time. Thanks so much. And if you have any questions on the software, I'll put some links below. You can always call the office, talk to Jean, and she'll explain the different packages available and what you can do. And I know everybody's on a budget, so you can buy this stuff a la carte, or you can get a specially priced bundle. We can spread the payments out for you if you'd like over months. And one of the great things is we'll spread the payments without any interest. How's that, huh? Okay, so you don't have to pay the 8% or whatever it is on your credit card. It's probably more like 19%. So avoid that for sure. But so we can give you a payment plan on any of our products, the software products. But call Jean and talk to her about it. Okay, she'll be happy to discuss that with you. All right, so we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Give us a like and all that good stuff. I'll put a little music on, and I'll quickly put on the day trading time frames because that's always kind of fun. We'll put it on the MES, which is kind of coming down right now, and I'll just leave that on. You can watch how that unfolds, and let me give you a little more screen time there. There you go, and you can watch that. Looks like it's coming down a bit. Okay, so have a great day. Thanks so much. And I'll put some music on.